Yeah, alhamdulillah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I said I seek refuge in Allah from Satan, the rejected enemy. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. It's really law that a Muslim, before you begin to talk about or around or concerning God, Allah, the great God of the universe, you have to seek refuge in Him for protection against saying something that's not right or, inaccurate or being influenced by evil or bad forces, you know what I'm saying? And I like to give honor, give praise and thanks, that it's really endless. We can't thank, like your parents. You can't thank Allah or your parents enough for the wonderful and joyous things that they brought, that they gave and brought into our lives. You can't, it's beyond words to in terms of gratitude and thanking God and your parents, right? Your good parents, you know what I'm saying? But just thought this is one of my, these places right here. This is it's a nice yard where I come and jog, early mornings in my neighborhood, right? This those new developments, those new luxury apartments smack dead in Midtown, West Baltimore. We're a neighborhood over from Sandtown. We're south of Sandtown neighborhood, Sandtown, Winchester neighborhood. But I just thought I'd chime in and give my salams and talk about what I normally like to talk about, and that is the direction, right? The quality and direction of the Moore Science Temple of America, and that is really it's wholly in the court of those who are in leadership posts in the Moore Science Temple of America, and really our Islamic leadership in here in the United States, here in the Western Hemisphere, it's it's really bad. It could be. It's I'm gonna stop saying stuff like this. Stuff's kind of law. It's well, yeah, and I'm gonna say it. It's bad. When you disobey the prophet, you understand, you lose, right? Had them brothers and sisters obey the prophet that would draw lead, you understand, we would be far closer to real and true liberation as a nation if they obeyed the prophet, right? You got some groups they partially obeyed the prophet and his forerunner, you understand? And look where they're at, and look how well they're doing, A lot of brothers just don't understand it. I just saw an interview with one of the non-temple leaders, right? One of the non-temple type leaders, right? One of the unauthorized, the renegades, right? Those who are trying to derail. They're trying to derail the national Islamic, the Moorish American Islamic national direction. They're trying to just make it what they want out of it. These guys not even shaving. And then if it's not the military, it's against divine law for the men to shave. It's got to let it grow out, keep it neatly trimmed around the lips, unless you're the military or law enforcement. But you got these guys. They're not Muslims. These guys are not Muslims. They try to say, and they try to justify their anti-Islamism by putting out, by telling lies about more science, saying more science is not a religion. It is a branch of Islam. See, it is a special Islamic curricular, right? Especially formulated for the descendants of the victims of the most horrendous episode in human commercial trafficking on the planet. That's what more science is. It's another branch of Islam. It's a branch of Islam that has its basis in psychology. That literature is psychologically based. It's a psycho-literary format. The essence of more science is psychology. It's psycho-literary. It's psycho-literary format. It's a psycho-literary platform. You understand? They don't understand it. Some of them do understand it, but they're trying to justify their irreligiousness, right? By telling lies. Now, me and a couple of other brothers, right? It's a security officer. I ain't gonna say his name. It's a security officer. We was watching that leader that's being interviewed. The Canland Moors interviewed this brother, this so-called brother, and it's just not Muslim. These guys are not Muslim. They listen to people who are non-Muslim. John Henry Clark and them, like the Afrocentric scholars, right? I mean, it's good listening to them, right? But it's not the best. These guys are not Muslims. These guys, they ultimately denied the prophet. They're doing what they want to do. These guys doing what they want to do. They're not following God's guidance. Our liberation is like I say it, and I can't say it enough. Our national Islamic liberation is tied to our obedience to Allah, God, Allah. We're Muslims. We're an Islamic nation. And we have to pursue our liberation Islamically. Okay, brothers, they just don't want to understand that. Because they don't want to be Muslims. But they want to lead us. They want to teach us. Right? These guys are Masons. Freemasonry is outlawed in Islam. There's some countries, they tacitly approve it, you understand? They allow it, right? But, every time when the crapola hits the fan, then they, start saying, well, look, that's not allowed. And you know how stuff is. People let laws get lax and everything until things get out of hand. Then they want to start enforcing laws and everything, Well, you really shouldn't allow it in the first place. These guys are agents, man, whether you want to accept it or not. I know some of you guys listen to these people, right? And you probably have an admiration or maybe an affinity for these people, right? But these people are criminals. See, they're rebels. You understand? They're agents of the Red Shield Group. That's who control Freemasonry in the world these days, in these modern days. And when those folks took over Europe, that's one of the first international, Rotaries, organization of Rotarian complexion. They took them over. They seized them, subtly. The Red Shield Group is something else. It's something else. They know how to seize power through money and being sagacious, right? And I have good reason to believe that they're behind the Claude Green attempt to overthrow the prophet. I believe they're behind the stooges who overthrew Marcus Garvey. Who crossed Marcus Garvey. And got his organization decapitated. The organization of the John the Baptist was the Universal Negro Improvement Association. John the Baptist got his head cut off, right? And John the Baptist, this New York Times, got his head cut off when the Honorable Marcus Garvey, alayhi salam, was removed as head of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and deported. Decapitation, right? And the brothers that crossed him, they were Masons. That boy Claude Green, right? Even though, they tore the fur of his arm, Allah ill, you understand me? When our big brothers, I said, the Muslim tradition, to mention one of the pioneers, run Allahu Akbar, if I'm saying it right. You know, I had terrible problem with Arabic. I got to get with a teacher, with a really good teacher. Be consistent with it. Be consistent at it, because I'm just so uninterested in it. Probably, because it's difficult. But things that, like math, it's just too sterile for some reason. It doesn't strike me, you know. But maybe I need more understanding on it, right? But yeah, and maybe I need a little more understanding on Arabic. Maybe I need to feel it a little deeper. I love to hear it when it's chanted. You know, so I have to get a little deeper understanding of it, right? But really, I need somebody who it's a certain way I learned. I got to you have to understand how your mind works. How you learn things. Rote learning, vocal learning. Different type of learning techniques and everything. Every human being has one, and you got to understand it and harness it and work with it, right? But let me get back to what I was saying about these non-temple types, man. They're misguiders, right? They don't know more science. They don't know more science. That's why they talk all this other stuff. Jumping the gun and everything, because they don't know that you got to get right with God first. You got to get right with God first before anything can happen. See, they don't want to get right with God. They want all of the Moorish honors, but they don't want the Moorish faith. They want the Moorish honors, but they want to live like middle class Christians. Drinking wine, possibly fornicating, with the same sex and everything, gambling, in casinos, playing the lottery, numbers and all that kind of stuff. Muslims don't do those things. See, and they know that. See, that's why they don't want to be Muslims. They want all the Moorish no titles and everything, the Moorish nobility. They want the white stone, but they don't want the white, the white hat, the white garment. Okay, they want the white stone, but they don't want the white garment. And no, you can't have one without the other. It's back to what the white garment comes out of the white stone. You know, the Moorish honor comes out of the Moorish faith. See, they don't want to accept that, but they're going to have to. I mean, if they want to be real and true Moorish Americans, they're going to have to accept it. And we got to guard against the prophet. When we say guard against the prophet, we got to guard against the platform that he brought us, the Moorish Science Information Platform. We got to guard that, and we got to guard the direction. The leadership posts as well as the leadership direction of this organization. We can't let other people come in here talking trash. They talking trash. They talking trash. You see this over. You can look at listen. What's that? Light Lateria. Light. I think it's Tirajai. Light Tirajai. I don't know what she called herself anyway, but you can she appeared to be she got herself wrapped up like a Mobitus and everything, but you can actually see and feel that she's nuts. You can actually see and feel that she's nuts. Our mental slavery, within one of the sublets of mental slavery is mental disorder. A lot of us are sick. You understand? I see a therapist myself. I was seeing this. I'm putting it out there. I was seeing a psychiatrist some years back. Then I got a little better, and now I see a therapist. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. This is the modern age. You understand? And psychiatry, psychology. You understand? These are modern era fields and disciplines. You understand? as the older the world get, the people are getting smarter, right? The people start learning more, become more scientific, because the entire universe is scientific. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, the chief supreme scientist of the universe. Created the universe. You understand? He is the scientific master of the universe, right? And the older the world get, the smarter the world get, that they're going to come to realize that. But we need to be mindful of what's right and what's wrong in terms of what we learn, right? Because we have a lot of cat hap, yukazibi, the Quran term is yukazib, kazib, but cat hap, falsehood. There's a lot of falsehood out there concerning more science, you know. And a lot of that's part of the leaders of that group, right? They're not carrying it politically. They're not really understanding the importance of guarding this thing. Okay, understand the importance of being political in building this nation. It's not a storefront church operation. You just don't come here and read Circle 7 and sing a bunch of improvised Christian songs, pay your dues and say your salams and goodbye, go back and come back the next 7 days and do it all again. Everybody pile up in there on Sunday and everything and not realizing that Friday is more important. Blame it on the, I'm gonna get out of here before I've been shot some damn body. Yeah. Yes. Oh, nasty junkie. You see that nasty junkie creep up behind me? See, on these streets, you got to be aware on these streets, you understand? Yeah, I saw the boy creeping up on me. See, gotta watch yourself. And sometimes, I could have my little friend on me, right? My little man on me. And I see a situation, I get up out of it. I ain't got to put my little man on it, right? Pull out my little man and have him address that. No. It's a lot of responsibility with that little man, you understand? A lot of people just don't have responsibility. That's why that little man gets them in really deep trouble. So, but so you just got to watch yourself. You got to be smart out here in the streets. You got to think strategic. You're on foot and everything downtown. Right. Oh boy. Well, that's kind of sidetracked me a bit, but I think I said enough. This little talk is concerning. These non-temple types. They're out of order. They're trespassers. And really, the best weapon against them is the truth, because they're lying. They're lying and they ducking into jihad. They're a bunch of jihad dodgers. They ducking Islam. See, because they know Islam is in struggle right now. And then people don't want to struggle. These people are not, they're not fighters. Their hearts are set on gold. They're trying to get rich, They want to drive nice cars, live well and everything. But check this out, at God's expense. Ain't that something? You brothers have a good evening. Okay, have a good day. Enjoy this weather out here. Get some of this vitamin D in the sun, right? Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.